That, Rattler fans, we welcome you to the breast cancer awareness game between the St. Mary's Rattlers and the University of Texas-Permian Basin. St. Mary's coming in off of a big comeback on Tuesday. Their record currently at 8-10. They're 5-4 in conference play. Texas-Permian Basin 6-15 on the season, 3-6 in conference play. Joe Rodriguez here, joined by Kayleen Zelsnak. Kayleen, breast cancer awareness match. A game that really means a lot to a lot of people. We see a lot of parents here, everybody wearing pink. Is there any more pressure on these girls for today? What do they have to do in order to come out and perform well?
I think they need to take their energy that they found in the last couple sets on Tuesday night. They need to take the energy that they had from that match and definitely bring it today. Breast cancer awareness, obviously you want to play this match not just for yourselves, not just for your team, but for all of the people that we dedicate this game to. And
preceding this match, there was a very nice stakeout in front of the gym. A great deal of people showing up, and we thank everybody who came out and showed their support and donated to the great cause, breast cancer awareness. So, starting out for St. Mary's, you got Chicatano, Jenna Paul, Victoria Martinez, Huber, Melissa Heft, Lauren Holman, and then Carly Ortega, the center. The senior, I should say. Rachel Chicatano to start us off. That one dug out by Ortega. Here's Heft. That off the libero of Permian Basin. So St. Mary's strikes first, 1-0. Heft, one of those players, if you can get her started earlier, she can really dominate a match for you. That one, responding kind from University of Texas-Permian Basin, so one apiece. Brogdon on the serve, she just got the kill. There's Holman, and she's able to get it down. So 2-1 for St. Mary's. Carly Ortega back to serve. Dug out by Chicatano and into the net and down to the floor, so 2 apiece. And that's really a difficult task for a setter, really, to go on ahead, dig the ball out yourself. Something you're not usually used to, but something that the St. Mary setters have been pretty good at so far to start this year, I'd say. Yeah,
as a setter, you always have a certain sense of anticipation to go get that second ball. So playing defense and staying disciplined and staying for defense is always difficult as a setter, but our setters, Chicatano and Bass, have done a phenomenal job of playing defense this year. We've seen them have just great games pretty consistently on the defensive side.
Good serve there by Martinez. The ball sails out of play, so point on over to St. Mary's. 4-2 the advantage in the early going. These two teams met up earlier on in the year. St. Mary's came out victorious. That game was in University of Texas-Permian Basin in their court. Final margin there, 3 sets for St. Mary's, 1 for Permian Basin. Five to 2 the score. That one met at the net. Paul and Holman combined. Here's Huber. That one popped up. Great dig there by Harmon. That'll be a free ball for St. Mary's. Here's Holman. That one looked like her timing was just a bit off there.
Yeah, it looked like the set was a little bit higher than what it normally is for Holman.
So 5-3 the score. St. Mary's has jumped out to the early lead. It'll be Gallardo to serve. Here's Paul attacking from the middle, and she gets it down. Chicatano and Holman head on out. Slaughter and Bass head in. Bass on the serve. That one hits the antenna, so out of play. 7-3 now for St. Mary's. St. Mary's a crucial game for them here in conference play. So they come in at 5-4. That ties them for the number 3 spot, for conference play. So every single one of these, really, you have to look at it as a must-win down the line, as the top 4 teams will be given berths into the Heartland Conference Tournament. And a double touch is going to be called on Bass there. So 7-5 now. Huber just sent it over, but well out of play. So 7-6 now. Now popped up by Huber. Paul will swing. She'll go up again at the net. Paul again. Bass has to dunk it over on the second touch. It'll be a free ball for St. Mary's here. Slaughter now, yes. So St. Mary's eventually wins out on that rally. 8-6 now. Huber back to serve. And off the tape and back onto St. Mary's side. Harmon to serve. Here's Jenna Paul. She's met at the net. And that one too much for Bear Bass. So game's tied up, 8 apiece now.
One of the things that the Rattlers can't afford to do tonight is make mistakes, service errors, ball handling errors, blocking errors. They made a lot of those on Tuesday night against
Tuesday?
Yes, on Tuesday.
Tuesday would have been against A&M Kingsville.
Against A&M Kingsville. Yeah, they made a lot of mistakes against A&M Kingsville, and it cost them the first 2 sets. And they just can't afford to make those tonight. You've seen how UTPB has kind of come back and closed the gap. And, I mean, St. Mary's just needs to definitely minimize on those.
Indeed, any point that you give to your team, really crucial in a game like these. So 9 apiece. Back to serve is number 9. It'll be Freilich. Ortega playing it short there and gets it down. So Holman and Chicatano head back in. Bass and Slaughter, of course, head out. Chicatano on service. That one dug out by Chicatano. Huber the set. Hef, she's sent back at the net. Ortega now. That one sails just out. Good reflexes there by Huber. Eleven and 9 for St. Mary's. That one dug out by Martinez. Here's Heft. Free ball. Holman now, the chip shot. It's good. And timeout for Permian Basin. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
And welcome back, Rattler Nation, to the breast cancer awareness match between the St. Mary's Rattlers and the University of Texas-Permian Basin. Shikatano back to serve. She's been doing well there. Margin growing back in St. Mary's favor since she's come on to the game. Holman now with a swing. That one put down. Lusk there on the kill. Brogdon to serve. And Martinez, that one came off her fine. So 12-11 now. That one's sailing out of bounds. So both teams so far with one missed serve. So things looking to even out there. 13-11, Ortega on the serve. That one sent back by Holman. Good pass there by Ortega. Here's Huber. And off of Permian Basin and out of bounds. 14-11. Good diving effort there by Martinez, but she's not able to get to it. Permian Basin answers right back. Here's Lusk on to serve. Huber to swing. She's sent back by Martinez. Good job on the coverage there. That one sailing out of the play. Carmen not able to control it, so St. Mary's now at 15. Martinez, the Arlington native, now back to serve. That one met at the net. Here's Paul now. Good dig there. Martinez equal to the task. Holman now. And Holman able to get it down. I talked to Lauren Holman before the game. She's playing with an injury. We're only allowed to specify it as upper body, but you could probably guess what it is by looking at her padding. And she told me that she was in a lot of pain, but you know, she really talked about how she was having to play through it and how it's important to her to go out there and play for her team, and especially in an important conference game like this. And Kaylina, I believe you've played through an injury before. Can you tell us that kind of mindset that you have to have as an athlete in order to go out and play?
When you're playing with an injury, I mean, it's a really fine line of just mental toughness and physical toughness. If you are able to withstand the pain and just let your adrenaline of the game that you get from the game. If you let that power you through, then you're going to be just fine. Sometimes injuries are a little bit too much to handle, and you do need to ask for a sub and talk to the trainer. It just depends on the athlete and the kind of mentality that they have towards the game and what they will allow themselves to withstand in order to play.
So we see Bass on the serve there. Can I ask what kind of injury it was that you were playing with?
I have a back injury, still have it, but basically one of the discs in my lower back did not fully develop, and obviously with volleyball there's a lot of jumping and a lot of running that goes into the game, and it was starting to develop into a stress injury, and it just kind of forced me to evaluate whether I needed to continue playing or whether I needed to take a step back. It's a difficult decision.
Indeed.
Have you ever played with a sports injury, Joe?
I have. I tore my UCL, which is like the ACL except for in your elbow, and I actually played 2 full seasons of football with it. And the reason being, well, you can wear a brace on it and you can't injure it any worse than it already is. And then I went on to, after that season, to have Tommy John surgery on it, which it's a tough process of recovery, but you come back and you play. But really it's just a mentality of, you just really got to get out there and, you got to play. You just got to go out there and fight through it. And, it's important to know your limits and be able to ask for a sub if you really need it.
Yeah, generally at the collegiate level, athletes just are so dedicated to their sport and they won't let an injury get in the way. I spent 2 years as a student athletic trainer at my high school, and you see it all. You really do. And you see the athletes that are willing to work really hard to get back from their injury, and you see the athletes that are going to guard their injury even after they've made a full recovery. It just really comes down to mental toughness and physical, what you're going to allow your body to withstand.
All right, so some good insight there. 18-16 now. St. Mary's still at advantage. That one popped up by Martinez, and Huber's going to be called for the double touch there. And they're going to go on ahead and take a timeout. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
Yes, I am. Give it to him hard. No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
And we welcome you back, Rattler fans. 18-17, the advantage for St. Mary's. So they are battling in this first close set. Joe Rodriguez joined by Kayleen Zelznak, bringing you all the action here on RattlerAthletics.com through the Rattler Network for the very first time in HD this season. That one met at the net. Slaughter and Ortega combined. Here's Jenna Paul. She drills it. Slaughter now. Oh, great hustle by Permian Basin. Paul again. That's a heartbreaking point to drop if you're St. Mary's. You feel like you're in control the whole way, and then a little bit of a mistake there at the end by Paul. Harmon the serve. Here's Paul attacking from the middle this time. Now Paul will serve. Heft will take it over. That one put down. Great kill there by Reb. So the scoreboard now reflecting 19 apiece. Really anyone's game, huh, Kaylee?
Yeah, I think St. Mary's has made a couple of mistakes that cost them some points and cost them some momentum. That long rally that Jenna just couldn't get that ball over the net kind of cost that momentum for him. It would have been a great rally to win, but you see Holman and Shikatano coming in, and they have a great energy that they bring to the court.
You see points like these when you're up by 1 point. I think these are the kind of most important points of the game. You win this point right here, you're up by 2, you're sitting pretty. If you lose this point like St. Mary's does there, then it's back to being a tied game. May have put the jinx on them there, huh?
It's possible.
Well, 20 apiece, both teams 5 from victory in this first set. Here's Heft. Ortega back to serve. Shikatano digging it out there. Here's Huber. Playing it short, good recovery there by Harmon. That one into the Rattler block, but onto their side of the court. So 21 apiece now. Back and forth we go. Lusk to serve. Here's Heft. She's met at the net. Good dig there by Ortega. It's Huber now. She pushes it up. It'll be a free ball for St. Mary's. Here's Heft. And again. So Heft, like previously mentioned, a very explosive player. And Permian Basin's going to go on ahead and take a timeout to try to kill this momentum. Welcome back, Rattler fans. 22-21. The score in favor of St. Mary's. It'll be Martinez back to serve. And that's a beauty right there. So those are the kind of critical points you love to have. (23-21). That one a wonderful floater from Martinez. It sails out of play. And did you see how eerie that ball was when it was flying through the air? No movement on it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So set point for St. Mary's. Martinez trying to put it away. Good effort there by Harmon. It's sent back. Holman and Paul combined for the match point there. So it goes to St. Mary's by a score of 25-21. Stay with us, Rattler fans, as you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
If you drive buzzed,
It could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
And welcome back, Rattler Nation, for set 2 of this best of 5 series. St. Mary's taking the first set there, that by a score of 25-21. They're jumping right back into the action. There's Heft there on the hit, and it'll be a free ball back for St. Mary's. Ortega attacking from the middle, and she's able to get it down. Too much for Carmen there. So Kayleen, you're the expert. We're going to go on ahead and ask you, what did you like out of St. Mary's there in that first set? What can they improve on, and what do you expect to see for the rest of the game here?
I saw some really good defense in the first set. I saw the communication and the intensity that they had. It is exactly what they needed to bring out for this game. It's a great transition from how they played on Tuesday night. I can't really think of anything that they need to improve on. They came out, they did their job, and they were excited about it. And ultimately, that's all you can do.
And the main thing I noticed about St. Mary's is Holman sent back at the net there. 2-1 now for St. Mary's. They really limited their mistakes very nicely. I think only one double touch and the missed serve by Huber. And those are the only 2 events that I can remember where St. Mary's gave away the point there. So very disciplined play out of them to get things going here. Paul will head in, Heft will head to the bench. Martinez back to serve. And that one sailing out of play. 3-2 now. Do you believe in the broadcaster jinx? Because I think I might have done it twice now already.
Honestly, I'm kind of starting to.
Just seems so perfect, right?
Yeah. The timing just can't be coincidental.
Indeed. Here's Paul. That one by Carmen. She's tipped at the net. It's Holman now. Playing short and able to get it down. Good use of the tip there by Holman. Slaughter and Bass in. Holman and Shikatano out. It's going to be Bass to serve. That one, too much to handle for Permian Basin. And they're going to go on ahead and take a timeout and try to kill this momentum right here. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, Rattler fans. 5-2, the score for St. Mary's. So we're ready to get back underway here. Bass back to serve. That one met at the net by Slaughter. And Slaughter now again. She controls the net on that point. 6-2 now for St. Mary's. Bass again on the serve. And dug out nicely by Ortega. Here's Huber. And that one sails just out of bounds for her. 6-3. Gallardo to serve. Good pass there by Huber. Now she'll swing. She puts it down. So 7-3 now, and St. Mary's, it doesn't really feel like any one particular player is playing incredibly well. It just feels like a great team effort to start this off.
Yeah, I mean, so far between however much they've played in the second set and in the first set, I couldn't pick out a particular player that is just standing out to me right now.
8-3 now, the margin for St. Mary's. Huber's still back to serve. Kelsey featured on the cover of our game day today, sporting her all pinks. This is a picture from last year's breast cancer awareness match. Of course, you can get the game days if you come on out to the game. Very well put together. They also have exclusive articles in them. This one about St. Mary's trying to move up in the Heartland Conference rank. Another great photo. For more of our great photos, all of them usually taken by Mr. Tony Morano, you can go to rattlerathletics.com and you can check out the photo galleries there. Jenna Paul able to put that one down. 9-4. Heft heading back into the game now. Paul on the ball. That one sent back by a Rattler player, and now Player being called for being in the net, so point for St. Mary's, 10-4. That one met at the net, tipped up, and Bass trying a little trickery there. Permian Basin will send it back over though. Here's Heff now. I think Mary somehow gets it over. Huber with the hustle. It'll be Ortega with the tip. Heft on the set. Here's Ortega. Nicely dug out there. That one met the net and popped up. Heft on the swing, and she finally gets it down. Really, while the point is nice there, perhaps more important, momentum firmly in the Rattlers' corner. Nicely dug out by Huber. Here's Paul from the back row. And that one manages to get by Huber. 11-5, the margin for St. Mary's. Here's Harmon to serve. Ortega. That one met at the net. That one too much for the Rattlers to handle. 11-6 now. And a bit overpass there. Bass wasn't able to bring it back. (11-7) now. As Permian Basin looks to battle back. Ortega puts an end to the run. Chicatano and Holman heading back in. It'll be Rachel on to serve. There's Lusk. She's able to get the kill. Fralick to serve. There's Heft on the tip. Good effort there by Martinez to get to that one. Ortega now. Lusk. For the second time in a row, Lusk proving too much for St. Mary's. 12-9 now. A great serve there as it dived across the net. St. Mary's will go on ahead and take a timeout. We'll take it with them as you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network. So 12-10 in favor of St. Mary's as we get back to action. Permian Basin on to serve. Popped up nicely by Martinez. Here's Holman. And Heft able to get it down. (13-10) for St. Mary's, so good use of the timeout there. Ortega on to serve. That one rejected by Holman. And a lift being called on Permian Basin. 14-10. Serve by Ortega. That one popped over, but just out of play. (14-11) now. That one off the tape. It'll be Huber to swing. She's sent back. Heft's turn now. That one popped up. Huber skies to go get it, but it's dug out by Permian Basin. And they managed to get it down. Nicely done there by Carmen. (14-12) now. Holman. It's Lusk now. She manages to get it down. 14-13 now. Brogdon on the serve. She puts it out of play. (15-13). Martinez back to serve. Lusk, dug out by Chicatano. Martinez. It's put down as Lusk is able to sky up there and get it. (15-14) now. Sent over by Ortega, free ball for Permian Basin. That one put down. So after St. Mary's led by a margin of 11-4, Permian Basin has gone on to make an 11-4 run of their own. One dug out by Lusk. It'll be a free ball for St. Mary's. It's going to be Paul. Another free ball for St. Mary's. A double touch being called there. Slaughter and Bass into the game. That one blocked to the net. St. Mary's able to take it back over. Great read there by Paul. That one sails out of play. 17-15 now. Pass with a teardrop. And Permian Basin able to get it down there. Gallardo now back to serve. Here's Paul. She gets underneath it. 17 apiece now. Gallardo still on the service. You can see Martinez not happy with herself on that pass. So Permian Basin now takes the advantage back in the second set, 18-17. And it's tied right back up. It'll be Huber on to serve. Huber on the dig as well. She'll send it over from the back row. Tip, Martinez in position. Paul has to get it over. And Martinez not able to get to that one. So 19-18 the advantage for Texas-Permian Basin.
You know, it seems tonight like Martinez has had a little bit of trouble with her overhead passing. And generally, as a rule of thumb in volleyball, if it is sailing over your head, it's going to be out. I think that's been a weak point for her tonight.
See her on the dig there. Permian Basin able to hustle and get it back over. Paul on the set. Ortega with the tip. That one just barely out of bounds. So 19 apiece. Just like we saw in the first game, the team's tied as the game gets closer. And seems as if that ruling was overturned. So you saw the line judge there, the baseline judge, calling the ball out, but point actually to Permian Basin, so it's 20-18 in their favor. Slaughter able to put it away. So 20-19 in favor of Texas-Permian Basin. Paul to serve. Here's a serve from Paul. It's way overpassed, but Ortega not able to get up and get it. So it's now 21-19 for Permian Basin. Harmon back to serve. Dug out nicely by Huber. And able to put it down is Slaughter. And you see some orange in the crowd, some supporters for Texas-Permian Basin. Harmon, actually, this is her homecoming, San Antonio native.
Yeah, I believe she was a Marshall High School graduate. I actually played, I think, 1 year of club volleyball on Maverick with her. I was probably playing 14, so she was actually one of our middles.
Really?
And she's playing libero now.
What a change that is.
Big transition. Normally middles don't play defense at all, but she's made a great transition to a defensive specialist.
22-20 now for Permian Basin as they look to battle back in the second set. And another point their way. Another San Antonio native, I missed this, is Gallardo. So another homecoming for her as well. Welcome back to San Antonio. Timeout called by St. Mary's. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back, Rattler fans. 23-20 for Texas-Permian Basin, and that's a gift right there. We talk about how critical it is to cut down on mistakes, especially in crunch time. And St. Mary's now with some life. 23-21. Lusk able to put it down, though, making up for the mistake. It'll be Huber, and double touch called on St. Mary's. So the score on the board is the same as the first game, 25-21, but the team at advantage is different. Tied at 1 apiece as you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
If you purchased a ticket to give yourself a chance Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
And welcome back, Rattler fans, to the breast cancer awareness match between your St. Mary's Rattlers and the University of Texas-Permian Basin. Permian Basin strikes first here. 1-0 the score. The set's tied at 1 apiece. Kayleen, we saw St. Mary's, they jumped out to that great lead, up 11-4 at one time, only to have Texas-Permian Basin come back on them. What did St. Mary's do that allowed Permian Basin to do that? And what did Permian Basin do well?
I think the Rattlers just had a few spots where their communication broke down a lot. You saw Martinez get frustrated again, especially with her overhead passing. And I think Permian Basin just did what I always say that you need to do. You need to take the momentum and just let that carry you through. If you're playing well, as a setter, you're going to go to the hitters that are on. You're going to have your defense talking to you and letting you know where to go, what's open, what passers are not doing well. And I think UTPB just kind of capitalized on the Rattlers' mistakes and the Rattlers' breakdown on defense.
And 4-0 now for Texas-Permian Basin. And you talked about the communication. You also saw sometimes some Rattler players running into each other. An obvious sign of communication being off just a bit. Chicatano on the dig there. Heft will take it over on the second touch. That one punched back over. There's Holman. That one sent back. It's Holman and Heft combined there. And St. Mary's on the board. Zakowski into the game for Permian Basin. Huber on to serve. Zakowski with the pass there. And Lusk able to put it away. So 5-1 now. Lusk now back to serve. Here's Heft. It's dug out. Heft on second touch now. Dug out again. This time it's Chicatano with the dig. Ortega now. She's managed to get it down. So 5-2 now. Jenna Paul into the game. Heft on over to the bench. Martinez to serve. Martinez, another great serve. She's been on her game tonight. Holman sends it over. That one dug out again. Chicatano. And 2 touches called on Jenna Paul.
Yeah, you saw Chicatano struggling a little bit against DBU and against Arkansas Fort Smith this past week. And I'm not sure what it was. She just didn't look like she was having great games, but it looks like she's kind of got her hands readjusted and her defense has been on. And she's been having a good game tonight.
Very good defensively as well. I believe she feels like at least 5 or 6 digs to her name. So 7 deuce now. Texas-Permian Basin ahead. The Ortega. That one dug out nicely by Harmon. And Carmen sent back. Holman and Paul combined there. Slaughter into the game. Bass as well, and she's on a serve. You hear the crowd trying to get into it.
I've been happy to see a better connection between Slaughter and Bass. I talked about that earlier this season where I just wasn't seeing it and I was really disappointed. But I've seen in the past couple of games that connection between the setter and the hitter, which is obviously crucial in volleyball. I've seen that connection develop, and I've seen Bass become more comfortable setting Slaughter up in the middle.
As we saw it on that last point on display. 4-7 now. And Paul not able to get to it. That one too much for Martinez to handle. 8-4. Carmen on the serve. The Ortega attacking from the middle. Popped up by Bass. And a tip there by Paul, just out of play. A good idea there. She had some space, but not able to get it down in play.
Yeah, I wish they would try and do a sharp cross when you're setting up the tip on the right side, but they always go to that spot right behind the outside block.
Paul able to get that one down though, so 9-5 now. Ortega, the senior, now on to serve. That one put down with authority. Brogdon on the kill there. It'll be Harmon back to serve. Dug out nicely by Martinez. Here's Huber. She's able to get that one down. Paul now back to serve. And off the tape and onto the floor. A little bit of luck there for Jenna. So 10-7 now, still for University of Texas-Permian Basin. That one finds the corner, good hit by Lusk. (7-11). Here's Freilich back to serve. The Huber. She's able to get it down. (8-11). And we see Huber on that hit where she takes that route. She makes it look so easy at times, but very difficult to do.
Yeah, it looked like that was a nice slide approach by Huber. Just back to the right side.
It'll be a free ball for St. Mary's. Here's Holman. Dug out nicely. Martinez equal to the task. Holman again, able to get it down this time. Chicatano on the serve. Here's Heft. She's met at the net. Holman now. Good effort there by Permian Basin. Hubert. She's sent back as well. Heft again. Chicatano able to get to it. I don't know. You see Heft, she went down and she grabbed at her knee area, so they killed the play. Looked like she collided with Martinez, but seems to be all right. She's back up. A little bit of a scare there. And I think we're going to just go on ahead and replay the point. Eleven to 9. Chicatano on the serve. That one paints the line for Permian Basin. (12 to 9). Carmen just re-entered into the game. Here's Heft. That knee seems to be just fine. 12 to 10. Huber on serve. Permian Basin responds.
Something that I've seen UTPB do a lot more than the Rattlers is set up the middle. And I'm not sure if I can accredit that to anything in particular, but that's just something that I've noticed, and it seemed to be working for them so far tonight.
That's why a player like Lusk for them has been having a very effective game so far. We see there Holman being set up, and she's able to get it down, so 13 to 11 now. Martinez to serve. That one put down. Peel on the kill there. (14 to 11). We saw Permian Basin jump out to this lead to start the set. St. Mary's just trying to battle back and keep it close. Ortega, and dug out by Harmon. And Hubert not able to get to it. Martinez tried to dig it out. 15 to 11, Gallardo back to serve. Huber steps and takes that one. Holman attacking from the right side there. Martinez, good dig. Ortega on the tip. Dug out. Carmen on the hit, dug out by Martinez. Here's Holman. And Jenna Paul and Chicatano miscommunicate. (16 to 11). If you're St. Mary's, you need to stop this run right now. It's served by Gallardo. Ortega on the hit. Now dug out by Chicatano. Be a free ball for Permian Basin. That one too much for Martinez to handle. St. Mary's will take a timeout. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
St. Mary's fans, St. Mary's, the St. Mary's Rattlers, and myself, I'd like to personally thank each and every one of you for coming out and supporting this great cause. And I know we've had a lot of fun tonight, Rattler fans. All these great people here
Truly a touching moment there with our own David Tovar. His mother, a breast cancer survivor, and
if
really
you haven't already,
moment.
read Tovar's take. I read it today, and it was quite a touching column.
Yes, it is. David, now in his 4th year, I believe, with St. Mary's and the Rattler Communications program, and really just a great guy all around. Gives to this program a great deal. Be sure to check him out and all other of our content on rattlerathletics.com. Well, back to the action. 17-11 for Permian Basin. And they're going to go on ahead and add on to that lead. 18-11 now.
It looks as if they have subbed in freshman Megan Isbell for Melissa Heft, I believe. And we saw a really amazing game from Isbell on Tuesday night against A&M Kingsville. And she was just dominating the net. And it looks like she and Holman have connected for a block.
And we saw Isbell really the catalyst, I believe, to that comeback. St. Mary's down 2-0 at one point, but coming all the way back and able to win that game by, win that match, beg your pardon, by 3-2 score. And Isbell, when she came into the 3rd set, her impact noticeable as it is here. 13-18. Here's Bass on the serve, and it's out of play. (19-13) now. Carmen on the serve. It's Paul attacking from the middle. Isbell and Slaughter able to send that one back. Martinez there on the dig. Here's Paul. She's able to get it down. And I really do like this lineup for St. Mary's. Isbell, Slaughter on the front row. That's a lot of height. And Jenna Paul, who is just a weapon on that front row.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Isbell so far this season. She's only played in, I think, a total of maybe 3 or 4 matches, but every time she's been in, she's made an impact. She's gotten really good at transitioning back off the net for her approach. She's always been a valid option to set. And I mean, ultimately as a hitter, that's what you need to do. You need to make yourself available every rotation that you can.
And Jenna Paul there, another kill for her. So 19-15 now. Ortega on the serve. That one, a piece of it gotten by Slaughter. Here's Paul again. And again, she's able to get it down. So 3 consecutive kills for Paul. St. Mary's starting to show signs of life here in the 3rd set. Great serve by Ortega. Again, Slaughter getting a piece of it. Here's Huber now. Yes. And Texas-Permian Basin needs a timeout. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
And welcome back, Rattler Nation. 19-17 as St. Mary's has come back in this third set. A set that they trailed at 1 point by 6. Slaughter now, yes. (19-18). St. Mary's looking to come back. That one tipped over. Huber now with a tip of her own. And the run continues. 5 unanswered for St. Mary's. Now Texas-Permian Basin looking to make substitutions, looking to make anything work. Ortega still on the serve. Dug out nicely by Carmen. Martinez, what an effort. Martinez again. Here's Huber again. Dug out very nicely. And that one painting the line, so point over to Permian Basin. Line judge had his view obstructed, but the down judge was able to see it. But St. Mary's able to battle back into this game. Harmon on the serve. Martinez sends it into the first row. (21-19), a very good serve there out of Harmon. Popped up. Ortega. Give it to Huber. That one again. Slaughter coming to life on the net in this set. Paul back to serve. Heft into the game. Good dig by Paul. Ortega equal to it. Huber now. Off the tape, it's popped up. Lusk, dug out by Ortega. Heft now. Job by Carmen to get to that one. Heft, mistimed between her and Bass. (22-20). Reb back to serve. Good pass by Martinez. Here's Huber on the tip. Playing short, working there for Kelsey. Chicatano and Holman heading back in. Chicatano back to serve. That one put down by Lusk. 23-21. Brogdon on to serve. Here's Heft. That one, too much to handle for Harmon. Huber now back to serve. Isbell back into the game, and Ortega will take a seat. And again, Ortega, a very good outside hitter, but Isbell just provides so much more height up there on the net. There's a tip. Beautiful pancake by Martinez. Sent back over by Huber. And it's Huber on the dig. Heft sends it over. Carmen dug out. And Heft sent back by Lusk. A pivotal point there And now University of Texas-Permian Basin on set point. Holman, I believe some protective tape may have fallen off. So they're going to attend to that really quick. I think it may have been a finger guard, or she might be bleeding, so we're going to go on ahead and take care of that. We'll go on ahead and take a break and come back when we're back to action. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, everyone. The matter has been attended to. Holman still out on the court for St. Mary's. Set point, though, for University of Texas-Permian Basin. The Huber from the back row, free ball. And that one just out of play. Martinez now to serve. If there was anyone St. Mary's wanted on service, it'd be Martinez. She's been excellent serving today. Carmen dug out by Martinez. Paul now. Too much for Harmon. 24 apiece. So now the first team to lead by 2 will take this set. All-important third set in a tied series. Met at the net. Isbell able to get up there. Holman now. Oh, great hustle by Permian Basin. Holman again. Oh, wow, what a great series. Carmen able to get it down. (25-24) for University of Texas-Permian Basin, and the Rattlers will take a timeout. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back, Rattler fans, to this third set. Set point for the University of Texas-Permian Basin. They lead at 25-24. Martinez on the pass. Holman dug out. That's Carmen there. Paul now. She's able to get it down. And so the set continues.
It looks as if Paul almost hit into the block on purpose, seeing that the block wasn't solidly set, and so she kind of knew that it was going to kind of play off of that and get a kill for herself.
Kind of just died there on the hands of the blockers and was able to go to the floor. Here's Bass on a serve. That one sent back. Isbell and Slaughter combined. Now it's Slaughter swinging. Again, the blockers get a piece of it for St. Mary's. Paul now. You see her contorting her body there and put it into the net. Set point once again for Texas-Permian Basin. Carmen on the serve. Slaughter puts it just out of play. So this third set, a thriller, goes to the University of Texas-Permian Basin. We'll be back with more Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Move. Give it to him hard.
No. Ow.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
And welcome back, Rattler fans, to the action. Going into set number 4, set number 3 to the University of Texas-Permian Basin. That all-important third set. They are now at advantage and obviously one more set away from taking this breast cancer awareness match. For St. Mary's, obviously not a set you want to drop, but they started doing some good things towards the end of the set there.
I feel like St. Mary's is, they're having spurts of energy, but they just need to get that consistency. I mean, when they have that energy on the court, they're doing amazing. They're they're talking and they're playing awesome defense, but whenever they get in rotation where it's just kind of dead, that's where UTPB has an opportunity to catch up.
Here's Hef starting St. Mary's out on the right foot there, 1-0 for them. And we saw Isbell inserted into the game, and St. Mary's instantly, it felt like their energy level picked up. They started playing better. Do you think that we have to see Isbell in this fourth set for a St. Mary's victory?
I think we can expect Isbell to play in this set. I think she is not necessarily at the point of being a difference maker, but I definitely think that she brings a lot of energy onto the court. When you get those blocks that she puts up, it's exciting, and your team comes in and they celebrate with you, and it kind of gives them the momentum to carry forward.
It's that one. Martinez not able to get to it, a solid kill, so 2-1 for Texas-Permian Basin. And it's really something that you see in teams. They love seeing those young, new faces, the freshmen come in and contribute, and really it kind of just brings the energy level up of the entire team, if you ask me. Chicatano, that one over her head, and Martinez wasn't able to get to it.
Yeah, you saw the Rattlers just actually do something interesting. They put up a triple block up in the middle, and I think they're starting to see that UTPB is really utilizing the middle, and they're going up against Lusk. And I mean, I think triple block is actually a really good idea to have in the middle right now.
And the aforementioned Isbell now coming into the game. 3-2 for Texas-Permian Basin. Isbell looking to help contribute to this Rattler cause. And Lusk once again able to get it down. Lusk having herself a great game. It feels like she must be in double digit for kills. Lusk now on to serve. It's Paul on the pass. And Paul to take a swing. Dug out by Lusk. Carmen now dug out by Huber. Sending it over on the second touch is Holman. Holman again sending it over on the second touch. That one just out of play. Lusk to serve. Martinez overpassing it there. So 6-2 in favor of Texas-Permian Basin. St. Mary's looking to put it into this. Martinez. It'll be Huber from the back row. She puts it into the net. So 7-2. And this is the way that we saw that third set start out. The University of Texas-Permian Basin pulled ahead, 7-2, the same score. St. Mary's with a timeout. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, Rattler fans. 7-2 the score. Lusk on to serve. We are in the fourth set of this best-of-5 series. It'll be Jenna Paul. She's able to get it down. So Bass and Slaughter coming back into the action. Holman and Chicatano heading out. It'll be Bass on to serve.
So Joe, this being the breast cancer awareness game, do you know of anybody that's been personally affected by breast cancer?
Yeah, my grandmother, actually, on my father's side. She is a breast cancer survivor. I remember she got it when I was a young child, and still to this day she fights with breast cancer, and she is able to come back and beat it. Still alive. Actually lives down on Cincinnati Road, which is very close to campus for those of you in the San Antonio area. And so with a game like this, of course, she's in my mind and in my prayers. Here's Isbell winding up. She's sent back. Jenna Paul now. That one tipped back. Bass now, able to get it down. Also to my grandmother, if you're watching, I love you very much. And by the way, I love you more. Little inside joke between us.
My grandmother and I have something similar, so shout out to my Nana. Love you.
All right. Slaughter and Isbell, the two freshmen, combining on the block there. Isbell again, wreaking havoc on that right side. 7-6 now. So the timeout seeming to be effective for St. Mary's. It was 7-2, but now 7-6. Great serve there by Bass. Dug out by Martinez. It'll be Jenna Paul. She's rejected by Huber. Great defense there, able to cover for her. Slaughter sending it over and able to find the weakness in the Permian Basin defense. So we're squared away at 7, and Permian Basin will talk it over. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back, Rattler fans. 7's on the board for both squads as we return to action. Huber, that one into the net for her. So much like the timeout was effective for St. Mary's, it is the same for Texas-Permian Basin. 8-7 now. Gallardo back to serve. There's Paul attacking from the center. Carmen now, dug out by Huber. Martinez will send it over, a free ball. And it's tipped by St. Mary's player, out of play it goes. So 9-7 now. Gallardo on to serve again. Huber from the back row. And back it goes. St. Mary's players are saying they didn't touch it, but the call is that they did, and so the point goes over Texas-Permian Basin. And the way that ball sprang off, it's tough to tell whether it went off the tape or off of a St. Mary's player's hands. And Slaughter not able to put it over. So we saw St. Mary's a little bit off on that point. Martinez off on the pass and putting Isbell and Slaughter both in a strange situation. Gallardo the serve. Paul now putting it into the run. So St. Mary's went on a 5-0 run out of their timeout. Texas-Permian Basin responds with a 4-0 run. So the margin +3 for Texas-Permian Basin. Paul on the serve. That one put away. Reb on the kill. It'll be Carmen back to serve. Martinez on the dig there. Here's Huber with the tip, finding the soft spot. 12-9 and Hef now coming into the game. It'll be Isbell to serve. That one dug out by Huber. Heft. And out it goes, touched by a Texas-Permian Basin player. So point over to St. Mary's. And while it's rare that we get to see Isbell serve, what I'm more excited to see is how she plays the back row defensively.
Yeah, I mean, she's played front row defense fairly well, but the back row you have a lot more space to cover, and I'm interested to see how she handles that.
A good serve there, so 12-11 now. St. Mary's fighting back in this game. Another pretty good serve there. On the dig is Bass. Here's Huber now. And she is able to get it away. We see the versatility of this Rattler team now. Bass on the dig, the assist there to Heft. Huber, her usual role, putting it away. 12 apiece now. Both teams looking to make it a baker's dozen. Isbell hitting the deck. Paul will send it over. Oh, what great hustle by Permian Basin. Will it clear the net? No! So for the first time this season, I can say behind the serving of Isbell, the Rattlers have taken the lead. What a great contributor she's proving to be in the later stages of this year. Paul on the dig there. Here's Heft. And again, St. Mary's exploding. And Texas-Permian Basin tentative to take a timeout here because it'd be their last of the game. So they're going to have to figure this one out on the court. That one sails out of play.
You know, I said earlier in the broadcast I wasn't sure if you could label Isbell as a difference maker, but I think it's pretty safe to say that that's what she is in these past couple of matches.
And now Permian Basin forced to take that timeout. 15-12 the score. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
(15-12), the favor to St. Mary's. Isbell back to serve again. And that one sent back by Slaughter and Heft. It'll be a free ball for St. Mary's. Paul pops it up. Here's Huber on the tip. One dug out nicely by Brogdon. Bass now with the dig. Heft into the tape. Martinez back into the game. Isbell heading over to the bench. She'll get a big hand from her teammates there. Here's Harmon on to serve. And Paul, it was too much for her to handle. (15-14). Here's Huber from the back row. Dug out by Carmen. Lusk now. Huber again. And again, Carmen equal to the task. Heft on the set. Huber. And she got underneath it. So the timeout effective for Permian Basin. They've squared it away at 15 apiece. Harmon the serve. And out of play. (16-15) for St. Mary's. Bass and Slaughter head to the bench. Chickatano and Holman head back in. Chickatano on the serve. Great effort there by Chickatano. And out of play. 17-15 now. Ball wandering onto the court. Causing a bit of a delay. 17-15 still. And that one too much for Paul. A great kill by Brogdon. 17-16. Freilich back to serve now. Martinez overpassing it there and out of play. In this game, 17 apiece, really a close affair. Kayleen, what do you think will be the deciding factor?
I think it really comes down to who wants it more. I think our Rattlers have done a good job tonight. Their hitting has been on, their blocking's been on, their defense has been pretty consistent. I think just the energy level has been fluctuating. I think that's been affecting what they do with the momentum. UTPB has just come out, and I think they're trying to avenge the loss that the Rattlers gave them at home. And I think they're just coming out and showing that they want it and working hard to get it.
That one dug out by Martinez. And Jenna Paul out of play. So 19-17. Brogdon on the service. Martinez a little hesitant on that one. I think she thought it was going out, but then decided to take it at the last second. Lusk there. And Lusk again, dug out. Here's Paul. Using a bit of finesse there. Brogdon's able to get to it though. Carmen now, Martinez again. Holman. Brogdon from the back row. And Holman with the solo effort. She is enthused along with this Rattler crowd. Heft heads over to the bench. Isbell heads in. Martinez back to serve. Here's Lusk. She's sent back. Carmen now also rejected. It'll be a free ball for St. Mary's. And it's sent over. And a double touch. These two teams continue to battle back and forth. Martinez to serve. Holman now. That one out of play. So 20-19 in favor of St. Mary's. Lusk back to serve. Holman with the tip. Lusk able to get to it. Carmen now. That one off the tape and back to Permian Basin. So 4 touches on them. Bass back to serve. Also into the game is Slaughter. Good serve there by Bass. Dug out by Huber. Paul will send it over, free ball. That one paints the line. 21-20. Gallardo coming into the game. She'll serve. Reb also into the game. As St. Mary's looks to extend this game to a 5th set. Here's Slaughter. Jenna Paul now back to serve. She puts it into the net. Crucial mistake there by Paul. Brogdon heading into the game. Carmen back to serve. Good pass there by Huber. Now she'll take a swing. And again, she just gets underneath it. Now Ortega coming into the game. First time we've seen her this set, she'll provide more defense than Jenna Paul in the back row.
Yeah, this is definitely a point in the game where the Rattlers can't be affording to make these mistakes.
Here's Huber with the tip now. That one, too much for Ortega to handle as it shoots into the crowd. And now it's the Rattlers who have to use their last time out. We'll take it with them. So you're watching Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And welcome back, Rattler fans. 23-22 in favor of University of Texas-Permian Basin as they look to close out this best of 5. Isbell able to get it down. 23 apiece now. Heft will head into the game. Isbell on to serve. She was incredible in her last serving effort. Another good serve there. Isbell not able to get to it though. So it'll be match point for University of Texas-Permian Basin, 24-23. Harmon back to serve. she's had herself a great game in her own right. Here's Slaughter. Lusk now. Dug out by Huber. It'll be Heft. But she's rejected, and that'll do it for the match. So St. Mary's drops a home game. They are now 8-11 on the season, 5-5 in conference play. The University of Texas-Permian Basin, meanwhile, moves to 7-15 on the year, 4-6 in conference play. So just one game behind St. Mary's. Kayleen, your overall thoughts and opinions on this game?
I thought that the Rattlers had a great game today. I think that they played in spurts of energy, and obviously if they would have kept their energy up the entire time, I think the outcome would have been different. I think Isabel did a good job again. I commend her on her performances in these past couple of matches, coming in as a freshman. In the post-game interview against Texas A&M Kingsville, she said that she felt like she really needed to prove herself, and so she comes in and she works hard and she plays hard, and you can see that on the court. I don't know that I can give... I think it was a team effort for the Rattlers, and I think that if they can keep their energy up, I always stress how crucial the energy is in the game of volleyball. Just the energy affects the momentum, and the momentum obviously affects how your team is going to play. I think the Rattlers definitely need to dig deep in these last couple games of the season and figure out how to make that change.
And you talk about the last few games of the season. St. Mary's, they will close out their homestand. That'll be on October 19th. That's against Lubbock Christian, so Saturday. We got a noon start time on that one. That one will be on RattlerAthletics.com, so you can tune in there. Remind you, Rattler fans, to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/St. Mary's/Rattler Athletics, beg your pardon. Follow us also on Twitter and Instagram at St. Mary's Rattlers. And Kayleen, back to your point about Isabel. You have to love this entire recruiting class for St. Mary's. All of them major contributors on this season. Chicatano playing another great game. Slaughter really coming into her own. And then Isabel looking like she could be a difference maker there off the bench.
I wasn't sure if I would give her that credit of being a difference maker, but she came in, and even with her serving and even playing a little bit of defense in the back row, she's done a great job. She's definitely made it quite a difference. Whenever she comes in, you kind of see the team kind of gel together a little bit better, and she makes big plays, and I think that helps lift up that energy and get the girls excited to keep playing and to keep working hard throughout the match.
All right, well, we thank you, Rattler fans, everyone, for watching. For Kayleen Selznak, David Tovar, and the entire crew, I'm Joe Rodriguez. This has been a presentation of Rattler Volleyball on the Rattler Network. Take care, everyone.